Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Rule the Waves. It's 1906, January of 1906, and we are playing as the Japanese Empire, although not the Empire quite yet. We have 5 battleships under construction, including the Iwami class, which I'm quite pleased with and proud of. You can see here it's an absolute fortress of guns. The armor may not be quite as good as we would like, but at 16,500 tons and 19 knots, it's fast, relatively well armored, and incredibly heavy gunned. Over 22 heavy guns of 8 inches or larger make this warship an absolute ferocious beast that any cruiser would have near impossibility in terms of engaging it, and any battleship shy of 12-inch gun ships that might be able to keep it out of range would have a significantly difficult time in dealing with. So this will be the new pride of the Japanese fleet, replacing the previous Misaki class, or Mikasa class, which I was pleased with at the time as well. It had 4 9-inch guns and 10 8-inch guns. So you can see here we're leaning heavily on the secondary batteries for our battleship fleet going forward. We're a little bit in the red at this time, so what we're going to do is we're just going to jump ahead to the next turn. 10-inch guns and better armor performance on us. That's no surprise, considering the fact that we've been having issues with our 10-inch guns for a while. No change there. We'll go ahead and fast forward one more turn, and you can see here we've got 2 more ships which are coming into commission now. One of our major arms manufacturers wants to enter a technology sharing agreement with a company in Italy. Is this advisable? Well, our relations with Italy aren't great. Cooperation will benefit both of our nations. It'll reduce tensions, or never, it'll increase tensions. I don't like the idea of a war with a country we really can't do anything with. So we'll go ahead and lower tensions with Italy. And we're into March. Okay, so we're now into the black again. We've got a positive balance of 3 million per turn with the completion of some of those cruisers, which are being rebuilt. You can see the Osama class cruisers were being rebuilt. We're going to go ahead and rebuild some more. Again, we want to modernize our heavy cruiser force as much as we can. And it's going to put us back into the black, but basically getting the 3 million that we got, that one turn of being back in the black, was really all we needed, and we're going to have our heavy cruiser force modernized here in no time. Meanwhile, I am going to also go ahead and lay down some new modern destroyers. We're going to go ahead and build some ships, or maybe not modern, but a 1903 design. Actually, wait a minute. We did develop turbines, I believe, last turn, so why don't we go ahead and design a new destroyer class. We're just going to handle the destroyer class by just letting it auto-design here. So you can see only 2 torpedo tubes. I don't like that. But it does have 2 5-inch guns on it, or 4-inch guns, which I don't think our previous destroyers did. Quite a bit of ammunition as well. I don't see why we don't add another mount. Heavy crowded center line will affect rate of fire by 20% on all mounts. We'll go ahead and add another torpedo tube. Where do we want to mount it? Can we do a centerline solo mount? What happens if we do that? 2 minutes centerline guns and torpedo mounts. Okay, so I guess we can't do that. Delete mount. What if we add... Well, the center... Port broadside solo mount. Can we do that? Torpedo mounts are not balanced. Fine, we'll add a starboard side broadside torpedo mount. Whoa. What did I just do? I don't want it submerged. Well, it is overweight, but basically we added in some additional torpedo tubes, which I think is kind of what our previous class of destroyers had. Can we make them heavier? I don't think we can. Yes, I know that's illegal. Why can't I make them... I'm guessing... what if we do that? We can't build destroyers bigger than 600 tons at this time. Well, that's lame. What do we want to do to save weight? Focus on speed, or we could cut our ammunition. Doesn't look like that has much of an impact, actually. Don't cut ammunition, because it won't make a difference. Could make it cramped accommodations. Wouldn't be ideal. We can make it slower, but I'd rather not do that. Can't really save ammo. Or armor, for that matter. What if we drop the main guns? We dropped into 3-inch guns. Doesn't really do much. Oh, we could drop the ammo a bit. No, that wouldn't really do anything. Shucks. I didn't really want to build this myself, but I didn't feel like 2 torpedo mounts was enough for a destroyer either. I don't want to cut it to 27 knots, but I feel like that's kind of what we have to do, so we just made a slightly slower destroyer. May not actually be better at all, but oh well. That's our design. We're going to go ahead and save it. And then we're going to build 10 of them. And additional cost of $194,000, which I'm not really worried about. Okay, so you can see there we're building 10 local destroyers. Those will take 10 months. We are in the red by $2 million, but we've got a few things coming offline here shortly. A regional war seems imminent on the Asian mainland. One of our major arms manufacturers wants to step on exports to likely belligerence. What's your reaction? Avoid stoking the fires of war, or do it? Do it, because I want the money. And we just increased tensions. Improved hoists. Okay, so we just a few research breakthroughs, torpedo ranges, and now we researched 12-inch guns. Great. It doesn't really matter because we can't build them yet. Because of the arms treaty. So that actually helped our... That money is going to come in handy. And our max dock size keeps expanding. Government concerned about tensions leading to war. You've been called to give advice. What do you want to do? Well, we could have a disarmament conference, but I'd rather not do that. It would lower tensions, but it would also slash our budget. We could arm for war if we want peace, or safeguard our interests by negotiating an agreement with Great Britain. What does that do? I don't know what it does. What happens if we do that? Talks with Great Britain failed due to high tensions between our nations. Well, that's lame. I guess that would have been an option to negotiate an alliance. Might have worked better with the U.S. Not historically, obviously, because at this time the U.S. certainly wouldn't be interested in having allies, or entangling alliances, if you will. But anyway, you can see unrest levels rising as well. It's kind of concerning. Industrial production is soaring. The Prime Minister floats the idea of shooting competition for all in the ships in the Navy. The battleship Shikishama won the shooting competition. That's an awesome photo. Technology sharing agreement with Italy has been of great benefit to our research, light forces, and torpedo warfare. Yeah, good. Meanwhile, no one is still building dreadnoughts because, again, of the Arms Limitation Treaty. We're into July of 1906. Wait, cancel. Out of name suggestions for German light cruisers. Okay. Prime Minister's asking if you can guarantee a victory over Russia if war should come. What's your answer? Probably not. I'll take the prestige hurt for a little bit more money. Research breakthrough. Ship design cross-deck fire. For staggered wing turrets. Okay. Oh, by the way, I didn't realize this, but every time I ask for more money, apparently that's pushing our unrest level up. So I should probably stop doing that. We've got some new battleships coming on the line here shortly. Popular protest in Japan against the high naval expenditures. Crap. That's bad. I don't want to get overthrown. Don't overthrow me. I'm just building a powerful empire that you will all love me for. There's been an internal upheaval in northern Korea. Yes! If we send an expedition force to restore, there's a chance we can take over the colony. However, we may increase international tensions. Yes, let's do it. The situation in northern Korea has spiraled out of control, and local warlords taken over as president. Our expedition cannot affect the situation. You are criticized in the press for your vainglorious colonial schemes. God damn it! No! Oh, tensions just shot up the roof. Come on, I want North Korea. That should be our territory. It was historically, right? Oh boy. We're almost at war with a whole bunch of people. I'm glad the U.S. doesn't give a damn about Korea. That's certainly accurate for this period of time. Fuck. All right. Well, we're in a little bit of trouble. Budgets are a little bit iffy, too. If we actually look, I've been doing a horrible job of building a balanced fleet. Our heavy cruiser force is way too small. Battleship force is still too small. And our light cruiser force is adequate, but probably old by this time period. Destroyers are doing okay, but again, I think they're a little bit old too. We're going to build some new ships. Well, actually, why don't we I wonder if we can redesign the light cruisers that we just built, or that we're building. No, they're already built. Where are those light cruisers? Because they're 10,000 tons. Rebuild. Whoops. Make them 21 knots. I feel like that's all you really need to do for a rebuild. Just increase the speed a bit. Maybe add a secondary? No, that's too expensive. Switch them into turrets, maybe? Yeah. Well, we can do that if we drop a tertiary turret. There we go. I'm a big fan of turrets. Well, that's all I want. More turrets. And ammo. Wait a minute. Oh. Is this a heavy cruiser? That's not what I wanted. Duh, I didn't want to rebuild that ship. Where's the light cruisers that are like 10,000 tons? Or 5,000 maybe. This is what I wanted to rebuild. Open ship design for rebuild. Place machinery. Increase speed. And ammo. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All okay. Yay. I'm not actually going to rebuild those ships, so I'm just going to build some new ships of that class. So we're going to build a new ship of those new light cruiser classes. And we've got enough to build... So we build 3 of them. And first class ship, whatever. Alright, so we're going to build 3 light cruisers as well. So you can see here we've got 1 heavy cruiser in construction that'll bring us up to 7, substantially below everyone else, almost double. Battleships are still way below everybody else as well. Our naval budget is soaring, but our unrest is high because of it. And our heavy cruisers are also, we're going to catch up a little bit with those 3 that we're going to construct. Also, they won't take quite as long, only 22 months. But again, if we get a chance for war with someone, we're going to go ahead and do it because this unrest level is just too high. And we just finished a whole bunch of other ships here. You can see our monthly budget just increased. So we're going to go ahead and finish rebuilding these heavy cruisers. Get those things out of the way and get them modernized, hopefully before any oncoming war. And we just commissioned a bunch of destroyers. I don't really care if we help Italy. I don't plan to go to war with them. Okay, so a spy from Germany's been discovered. What do we do? What do we do? Budget intentions go up. It would probably lead to war. Or handle it discreetly. Budget intentions go up. We get a little bit more money to play with. So we're going to build... I'd say we could build a heavy cruiser. We could use more of them. The redesign is a year old. Or we could build one more of those new battleships that we just built. Let's do that. I like how the Fuji class isn't even on here anymore. Maybe because we can't order from Britain because our tensions are too high. I'm not sure. Okay. So we got another Iwami class battleship under construction now. Government's considering making some symbolic concession to Germany to lower tensions between our nations. What is your response? Don't. Or, don't do it. I don't really care if we have a 12-inch gun. I don't want 12-inch guns. Okay, some more ships being commissioned. Gets us back in the black, but we've got a whole bunch of money. We just keep increasing our money a bit. I probably don't need this much money. If I could say let's lower our naval budget by a little bit, I would do it. You can see our naval budget is just soaring. What do I want to do? Let's do this. We've got some old destroyers. We're going to maybe put some of our destroyers into mothballs. Or reserve fleet. Oh, the Southeast Asia, I guess you can't do that. Okay, so we're going to do different destroyers. Reserve fleet. Okay, so we just put 9 destroyers into reserve. We'll put another one in. Okay, so we just put 10 destroyers into the reserve fleet, and then we're going to go ahead and build 10 new destroyers to replace them. There we go. Alright. Japan just keeps on chugging along. Chug, 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 chug. A disarmament conference is being held in The Hague. What's your recommendation for the delegation? We can live with reductions as long as they applied fairly and proportionally to all nations. We already have a disarmament. Keep the appearance of being reasonable, but don't agree to anything binding. We should not be limited by national security. Increase prestige and tensions. Popular protests in Japan against the high naval expenditures. Japan and Germany are in our state of war. Okay, so we are at war with Germany. I'm not sure if we're at war with anyone else. You can see these tensions are high with Russia, France, and Germany. So I really hope we're not at war with all three. Own ships available. Estimated enemy forces in the area. So Germany looks to have 3 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, 6 light cruisers, 7 destroyers. And then we have our own group of battleships. So go ahead and accept that. And you can see here we are going into Tsingtao. We are into our very first battle. And I think what we are going to do is we're going to... Oh, wait a minute. 1 second. It doesn't look like you can see what I can see. So, it does look... I don't know why the screen kind of looks funny there. I'll have to figure that out. It looks like the screen looks a little bit funny here, with some weird lines across it. I haven't fought a battle before, but we are about to fight a battle here. You can see our fleet is closing in. We've got several battleships in here, some heavy cruisers, and then we've got several destroyer flotillas closing in on a surprise attack on the German port of Tsingtao. But at the moment... yeah, I mean, at the moment, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this video off just because we're already at over 20 minutes, and we'll come back to the Battle of Tsingtao. I'll figure out the screen, why it looks funny, and we'll have our first major battle in the next video. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're finally at war after several episodes. I just hope we're not at war with 3 other countries as well, because the tension levels skyrocketed on all 3. But this is our surprise attack on the port of Tsingtao, which hopefully will give us a sizable victory that we can use to parlay it into a quick victory against the Germans, because again, our fleet's heavily outnumbered versus everyone, let alone if we're fighting 3 countries at once. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you tuning in, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.